Welcome back to another episode of the Whiskey Tornado. I'm your host, Lance. It is day 6 of our Whiskey Advent Calendar. Again, huge thanks to all our Patreon members who purchased one this year. They sold out in about 15 seconds. So super excited to be able to do this for you guys, share my favorite bottles with you guys. Last week went great. Everybody loved the whiskeys that were in week 1. And I really enjoyed reading your comments, reading your tasting notes, and just seeing how different palates are. In fact, I loved reading your notes so much that going forward, at the beginning of every week, I'm going to read my favorite tasting notes from the previous week. And last week's tasting notes come from Michelle H., and they were fantastic. On the Kentucky Spirit, she said, first impression, cow candy, caramel cream, spicy rye, thin yet honeyed, quick sipper, hot and bright, fleeting American oak finish. Her final thoughts, doesn't come more American this, classic taste. And here's where it gets amazing. She says, nod towards a college one-night stand, untaxing and swift, slightly left wanting more. Beautiful package. I think she means the bottle. If inappropriate, let me know. Cheers. Michelle, that is not inappropriate. I love that. Those tasting notes were fantastic. I loved seeing your opinion on the whiskey. In fact, Michelle, if you guys don't know, she beat a lot of us at the regional finals, the Midwest regional finals for the World's Top Whiskey Taster contest that Bardstown puts on. And in fact, Friday, I think this will post on Monday, Friday the 10th, she will be, she's the finalist, and that's going on at Bardstown. So find Bardstown on YouTube. And I don't know how much of it they're going to air, but we are all cheering you on, Michelle. I couldn't be more excited for you. I think you are going to do amazing, and I'm just so excited to watch you compete. All right, with all that being said, let's get into day 6 of our Whiskey Advent Calendar. I have a very special bottle to share with you guys today, and this bottle's special to me because it's one of the first barrel picks I went on. Narav has a store, A1 in Effingham. You guys have heard me talk about it a lot if you're on this channel. They do the best store picks in Illinois, in my opinion, and they do a lot of them. I think he had 40 plus barrels that he bought for his store this year. I was lucky enough to go on one to Wilderness Trail, and we also stopped at Starlight Distillery in Indiana. Now, if you guys know, I'm not crazy on a lot of craft whiskey. So when he asked me to go to Starlight Distillery and asked me to taste a barrel finished in maple syrup, I wasn't really crazy about it. I was like, I don't know if I'm your guy to go because number one, I'm not crazy on craft whiskey. Number two, I think the maple finish might be too much. But Narav knows what he's doing. We went there, we tasted this barrel, and it was so fantastic. It was really good. So this is Starlight Bourbon whiskey finished in maple syrup barrels. This is I believe, a mixture of 3 grain and 4 grain. It's a 3 grain, 4 grain blend that they put in a maple syrup barrel. So let's get to the nosing and the tasting on this. Now remember, this is younger, so don't put this up to the standards as you would like a lot of Buffalo Trace products or Heaven Hill products. We're talking about a 3 and 4 year bourbon here finished in maple syrup. So let's go to the nose, everybody. And the first thing I get is just like caramel, a lot of sweetness, almost like buttery caramel, buttery like burnt caramel. The molasses or maple comes through, but it's light. Like I think if you were smelling this blind, I don't know, you wouldn't know that this was finished, I don't think. But really sweet, really nice. Cinnamon on there. There is just a slight bit of graininess. You can pick up a little bit of that corn, a little bit of that youth. Now, when we were at Starlight Distillery, we thieved it right out of the barrel, tasted it, and I was blown away. I was like, there is no youth on this. How in the world are they doing that? Craft distillery with 3-4 year bourbon, and I'm not picking up any youth. And there is a little bit of youth now, but it's not off-putting. It's really still really nice nose. All right, the proof on this is 106.6 proof. So let's get into the taste. Cheers, everybody. That's my first sip of the day. And the first thing I got was maple syrup, caramel, vanilla, honey. Really nice. Let me go for a second sip. First sip, I never judge a whiskey by the first sip, even though that was fine. That was good, but yeah, there's that Nice Starlight sweetness. There is a little bit of grain in there, but it's got a nice bit of caramel, nice bit of maple. Not crazy complex, but really sweet, really good for 106 proof. It just goes down nice and buttery and creamy, really viscous. Third sip. More of the same, just a touch of youth covered by caramel, maple, buttery kind of brown sugar, some honey. Really nice. And it's got enough proof there that the finish just keeps going for me. It's moved down in my chest. I'm getting a pretty good hug now, but it's not off-putting. It's not fighting me too much. Really beautiful. Starlight is my favorite craft distillery at the moment. What they are doing is just amazing. If you guys ever get a chance to go down there in Indiana, do so. What they're doing with their finished ryes will really blow you away. But this, I thought, for a 4-year bourbon, finished in maple syrup, I thought it was maple syrup barrels. I thought they did a really good job of not putting them in those barrels too long, not overwhelming it. You can still taste the bourbon. The bourbon still shines, and it's just got that little layer of maple over it, but not too much, which is how I like my finishing to be done. So, And now the more you get into it and the bigger sips you take, the nicer it gets. It's so creamy. I just love the mouthfeel, the texture of it. But the sweetness is really nice with a little bit of spice on there. Well done, Starlight. All right, that does it for day 6 of our Advent calendar. Cheers, everybody.